Alrighty, so for the final presentation, I am going to be walking through what we did from all the way from Lab 4 all the way up until Lab 7. Unfortunately, I did go out of town and I'm not going to be back until Sunday morning, so I do not have my poster, which is sad because I had put it all together for this presentation, but did not look at the due date for this, so that we will have to do without. Apologies for the visual. It will probably be pretty difficult without that, but I'll do my best just to walk us through what we did all the way from Lab 4 up until Lab 7. So pretty much what we're going to be talking about is kind of everything that we did during those 4 labs and how ATP is used and nucleotides and ribose is made all the way up for DNA replication and everything like that. So we're going to go through ATP production and regeneration as well of ATP synthesis. So as we all know, ATP is a form of energy in the body, and it goes through multiple steps in order to be that energy that we all need and require every single day. Nucleotides can be synthesized in a variety of different ways, and we all know that as well. But ATP ultimately comes down to we have that glycolysis that happens, we have the Krebs cycle that happens, and we get ATP from all of this. Okay, so it varies. We get it in forms of just straight up ATP, we get it in NADPH, we get it in FAD, we get it in many different forms, and there's all different conversion rates for that. One thing that is different is also with the electron transport chain. So as we saw back in, I think it was Lab 5 or 6, I know we had the picture drawn, is that electron transport chain. We get a lot of ATP from that. A lot of the other ones like glycolysis and everything else, we don't get a whole ton of ATP, but from electron transport chain, we get like 28 or 34, somewhere in there, I can't remember exactly, ATP just from that alone. So that obviously generates a lot of energy for us. So we know that ribose is a type of sugar. It's normally found in the body in a form called glucose. And ribose plays that important role in the synthesis of RNA and DNA and the energy of ATP as well. So we all know that from all the different labs we did, but the pentose phosphate pathway is also a metabolic pathway that is kind of like glycolysis, and it generates that NADPH and the pentose, which is the 5-carbon sugar, as well as that ribose. So we know all that, and pretty much to get all this ATP, it has to go through multiple different steps. And we use different trade-offs from each one. Some give off CO2, some require O2, some require those phosphate groups in order to have that, so we can get it through anaerobic respiration, aerobic respiration, the pyruvate pathway. We get ATP from a lot of different ways throughout our body. And so really labs 4 through 7 was showing us that entire pathway. And on that big poster that we, and most of you guys do have, which I wish I had, we can see each individual step and how it goes with the next one. So it was really interesting with this whole project and lab, seeing all the different pieces come together. Although some of them I'll say I did have difficulty with quite a few of the worksheets, and it took quite a bit of time going back and looking it up and seeing what was needed in that step in order to continue on and draw those metabolites with those arrows and everything like that. So overall, it was a very interesting 5 weeks because we got to see how it all gets put together, how it works, and it kind of put this entire class in a perspective where we could see how we utilize stuff that we learned all the way back in week 1, all the way till now, which is all the way in like week 8. So overall, it was very interesting, and we could see all those different byproducts, everything like that. But ultimately, we get a lot of ATP. And so it was just very cool to see how that all came together and how our body does end up using all of that. So overall, I know this was kind of difficult without all the pictures or being able to show you that bulletin board, but unfortunately I did end up going out of town and realized that this was due tonight. So I did not have my poster board, and I have it printed out and all on paper, so it's not like I could just reprint the pages or anything like that. So hopefully you still got a general gist of what we learned and what we went over. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your guys' videos and seeing how they came together, and trying to look at your guys' posters to also see how they differed and everything like that. So hopefully you were able to get a little something out of this. If not, apologies, but unfortunately I did not realize that this was due on Friday. But yeah, hope you guys had a great semester. I know I did with this class, and best of luck in the future.